Welcome to the channel, everyone. Well, today is the day the transmission goes in the truck. So hopefully all goes well. It's pretty much ready. I'm going to show you how I installed this kickdown cable in a second here. But yeah, I'm going to start jacking this thing in place. I've got to install this kickdown cable. This goes all the way up to the carburetor, and when you hit the gas hard enough, it will downshift the transmission. So this end here, you got an O-ring there with a little eyelet hole. You're going to hook that onto this wire right here. You can see it's got a bend in it so it don't come off. There's a hole right here for a mounting bolt that goes right in there. So just got to kind of work that on the wire. I can't do that holding the camera, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to lube up my O-ring a little bit so it slides in there, seals this up. And yeah, this transmission will be ready to go. For the dipstick, I got a low car, so I'm probably going to wait till the transmission is in to install that. Okay guys, so I'm under the truck here getting ready to bolt the transmission on. Had to do a little fixing back here. If you remember when I put this engine on the run stand, I bought some ARP bolts, but I bought the wrong ones. I bought the ones for a two-piece rear main seal. These Blueprint engines are actually a one-piece rear main seal. The difference between the bolts is the size of the head. The other ones are too big, you can't get a wrench on. These ones here, that's what you need. And yeah, it's just a smaller head, so you can actually get a socket on those. Yeah, so ARP, awesome. They usually come with a little packet of instructions. It tells you how to do it. A little bit of Loctite on these bolts, and then a little bit of their thread lube on the underside of the head where it contacts the metal there, and then you torque them down to 85 foot-pounds for these bolts. So that's what I did. Got them on there, got them torqued. This is a heavy-duty Hayes flex plate. I believe that's the part number. It's SFI approved, so it should be a good flex plate for this motor. Okay, so the FTI instructions for installing the transmission, they want the dowel pins lubed up, and they also want the crank right there lubed up. So I think I'm going to put some, I'll put some anti-seize on those areas for lubrication, and we'll get this thing up in here. Make sure that nothing is going to fall between your bell housing and the engine there. You don't want something in there and then tighten it down, because you could break the bell housing. So shouldn't be anything too difficult. Might be a little tight up here, but I'll have to just slowly finagle this thing into place. Okay guys, so there you can see transmission is in place and it is bolted down using brand new grade 8 bolts. These are actually nice, really nice bolts. And a little bit of cussing getting all them holes lined up, but I think that's the way it goes. So that's pretty much what I use to get everything in place. A bunch of lineup tools, rubber mallet, and a few other 9/16. Pretty much every bolt on this truck is 9/16, so, or a 9/16 socket or wrench. Yeah, it went pretty smooth down here. I mean, the transmission went on to the engine pretty well. A little bit of pushing to get it on those dowels and stuff, but yeah, it looks like everything worked out okay. Now the top side is a different story. I got to address some things up top, but before I go up there, this is what I usually end up using to tighten up bell housing bolts. Super long extension. It's about the only way you can get it with a swivel on the end. And then I did go with some really nice ARP bell housing bolts this time. Usually I think I source my own stainless bolts or something like that. Thought I'd give this a try. It's not that expensive. Really liked them. Probably that's the way I'll go probably from now on. If I ever do another one of these. But okay, so with an automatic transmission, you got to bolt your torque converter to your flex plate, and you should have seated your torque converter all the way before you bolted this up, but it should spin freely in there now that you've got the transmission bolted to the engine. And there should be a small amount of a space, and then should be a small amount of space to push that torque converter against the flex plate, and now you can bolt it down. There's 3 bolts that generally go in a torque converter. You got to spin this to install all of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to drop her down now. I'll show you the issues that I'm having. Okay, so we're back up top here, and my issues are, now that the transmission is bolted on, and the tilt of the motor is now set. And I didn't think it was going to tilt back anymore, but apparently it is. So what I'm having an issue with is the wire loom right here. That's up against the firewall. That's got to come off. I'm probably just going to end up trimming that up, just using part of it. The other problem I'm having is the distributor is now against the firewall. There's no room. So I'm probably going to end up stealing Dad's old distributor, which uses a coil, so it's quite a bit smaller than this HEI one. I think I'll be fine. It's just going to more time changing parts over. I've got the kick down cable here. This is right, up here, so got to figure out a mount. I've got a few mounts. I got to figure out how to get it on this Holly. So that'll be fun. And then everything over here is okay except for this header right here. I mean, you can see, I don't know if it's touching or not. I think it might just barely be touching there. So I've probably got to pull those headers off, and I probably got to clearance the frame a little bit right there. Again, not a big deal, but it's time and stuff's got to come off, and it's time to do stuff. The firewall isn't near as bad back there now that the engine is actually tipped back a little more. That actually helped that problem. So I did clearance the firewall back there, So there's actually lots of room now. So those are the issues that I got to fix now. Okay, so I just trimmed this spark plug wire loom. Just trimmed it up. It used to go up there and it used to be a square. So I'm just gonna put that back in there. I'm gonna run my 4-wire deal. Just gonna run it up and down, I think, just holding the wires there, because it won't go straight because the firewall is just too close. And I've also got the clearance on the header. You can see good bit of room, good bit of wiggle room. With these poly motor mounts, I don't think this motor is going to move a whole lot, but anyway, got that fixed. So I guess that's going to do it for this one, guys. Transmission is in. Next thing that's got to go in is transfer case. So stay tuned for that.